It was supposed to be a peaceful day, the kind of day when a man could finally breathe, look around at his life and feel proud of how far he'd come. The sun was dipping low, painting the sky in soft orange streaks, and the sound of cicadas hummed gently in the background. Marcus leaned against the moving truck parked in front of his house. His muscles ached from lifting boxes all morning, but his heart was light. Today was freedom. After years of struggling in a neighborhood where he never truly felt welcome, he was finally moving his family to a better place. A place where he hoped his son could visit him without the constant stares, where neighbors waved instead of whispering, where home truly felt like home. But Marcus had no idea that before he could leave, one last storm was about to hit him. He had lived in this suburban neighborhood for nearly 10 years. He worked hard, paid his bills on time, and raised his son with discipline and love. He never threw loud parties. He kept his lawn neat, and he made sure his house was in good condition. Yet despite all that, there were people who never let him forget he was different. They didn't have to say it directly. The glances, the muttered comments, the way some parents pulled their children closer when he walked. It was all the same. Message, you don't belong. And no one carried that message louder than Karen Whitmore, the head of the HOA. She was the self-appointed queen of the neighborhood, always watching from her window like a hawk. She left notes on doors, fired off emails at the smallest inconvenience, and had a reputation for running the neighborhood like her personal kingdom. Marcus had learned to ignore most of her antics, but Karen's hostility toward him was different. It wasn't just about HOA rules, it was personal. That evening, Marcus carried the last heavy box to the truck, sweat dripping down his temples. He straightened up and allowed himself a small smile. That was the last one. Soon he'd close the truck door and drive away for good. But then, across the street, a curtain shifted. He knew that movement. He braced himself. Seconds later, the front door swung open and Karen marched out, phone already in hand. "Excuse me," she snapped, striding across the road with sharp steps. "What exactly do you think you're doing?" Marcus exhaled, tired but polite. "Moving, Karen. Like I said in the notice I sent the HOA last week." "Today's the day." Karen's eyes narrowed, sweeping over the moving truck as if it were a crime scene. "This doesn't look right. People don't just back a truck up and haul furniture out like this. For all I know, you could be stealing." Marcus almost laughed at the absurdity. "Stealing? From my own house? You've seen me live here for a decade." But Karen wasn't smiling. Her finger jabbed at the phone screen. "That's not proof. I've seen suspicious activity around here before. And frankly, it always seems to be connected to you. I'm calling this in." Marcus's stomach dropped. "Karen, don't you dare." But she had already pressed dial. Her voice rose loudly for all the neighbors within earshot. "Yes, this is an emergency. There's an African-American male, mid-40s, loading valuables into a truck. Possible robbery in progress." Marcus's fists clenched. His heart pounded. Years of holding his tongue, swallowing anger, trying to avoid confrontation. This moment cut deeper than all of it. She wasn't just harassing him anymore. She was calling the cops on him for existing. Within minutes, sirens wailed. 2 squad cars screeched to a stop, red and blue lights bouncing off the houses. Neighbors came out of their homes, some clutching their phones, others whispering behind cupped hands. The whole street was watching. Karen folded her arms with satisfaction, her chin lifted high. "Good. Now we'll get to the bottom of this." Marcus stepped forward, palms open, his voice steady but angry. "Officers, this is my home. My name is Marcus Bennett. I have ID, I have the deed, I'll show you whatever you need. I'm moving out, that's all." One officer frowned, clearly conflicted. But Karen cut in, pointing dramatically. "He doesn't belong here. Look at that truck! He's taking expensive furniture. I told you I've seen suspicious activity before." Marcus snapped, his voice rising. "You've seen me mowing this lawn every weekend, Karen? You've seen me fixing my roof, walking my son to school. 10 years. And now you want to pretend I'm a stranger?" The officers glanced between them, unsure. The neighbors leaned in. The tension was thick, humming in the air. Then another car pulled up. Sleek, unmarked, official. From it stepped a young man in uniform. His posture was sharp, his badge glinting in the fading light. It was Marcus's son, David. Karen's eyes lit up, confident she was about to be vindicated. She pointed eagerly at Marcus. "There, that's him. That's the man who's trespassing. Arrest him!" David's jaw tightened. He walked calmly up the driveway, his eyes fixed on her. His voice cut through the crowd like a blade. "That man is my father. And you, ma'am, just filed a false police report." The entire street seemed to gasp at once. Karen's face drained of color. Marcus's heart thudded in his chest. For once, the balance of power had shifted. Karen tried to laugh, though her voice cracked. "Oh, come on, this is just a misunderstanding. I didn't know. How was I supposed to know he lived here?" Marcus's restraint finally broke. His voice shook with years of frustration. "A misunderstanding? You've lived across from me for 10 years. 10 years, Karen! You've watched me cut this grass, shovel this driveway, paint this house. You've watched my son grow up here. Don't you dare tell me you didn't know!" Karen floundered, her eyes darting between Marcus, the officers, and the crowd. I just thought—" David's voice sliced in, sharper now. "Thought what? That a black man with a moving truck had to be a criminal?" The neighbors stirred. Some nodded, some looked away, shame on their faces. David stepped closer, his tone steady but burning. "You didn't just insult my father. You wasted police time and resources. Do you have any idea how dangerous this could have been? What if another officer had shown up, ready to believe your lies? Do you know how quickly this could have ended in tragedy?" Karen's confidence crumbled. Her face twisted in panic. "Officer, please, I was only protecting the neighborhood." David shook his head. "Protecting the neighborhood doesn't mean harassing innocent people. And it doesn't mean weaponizing the police against someone you don't like." He looked to the officers beside him. "Place her under arrest. Filing a false police report." The gasps grew louder. The cuffs clicked. Karen's protest tumbled out, in broken sobs as the officers led her toward the squad car. For the first time in years, Marcus saw her powerless. He stood frozen, years of humiliation and anger lifting off his shoulders. He looked at his son, pride welling in his chest. David turned to him, softer now. "Dad, you okay?" Marcus swallowed hard, his eyes glistening. "I'm proud of you, son. More than you'll ever know." The neighbors quietly dispersed, the spectacle over. But the silence left behind felt different. For the first time, Marcus wasn't invisible. He was seen. Father and son loaded the last boxes together. Marcus took one final look at the house he had worked so hard for, endured so much in, and felt no bitterness, only closure. This wasn't just about Karen. It was about something bigger. The danger of prejudice, the harm of assumptions, and the courage it takes to confront both. Karen thought she had humiliated Marcus one last time. Instead, she exposed her own ignorance and paid the price. The lesson is simple. Judge people by their character, not their color, not where they come from, not the assumptions in your head. And never stay silent when you witness injustice. If this story touched you, don't let it end here. Share it. Talk about it. Use it as a reminder that silence protects no one. Stand up when you see wrong being done. Speak out when someone is treated unfairly. Because sometimes the only thing stronger than hate is the courage to confront it.